Hello, fellow humans. Today we are going to be setting up my new bullet journal for the year 2021. I am so excited to be in a new year, which is why I actually am doing this very, very early. This year I have opted for a staple, a favorite, the Archer & Olive 160-page dot grid notebook with white pages. This is only my third year using a bullet journal, so I'm still trying to figure out what I like to do, what doesn't work great for me, and just trying things out along the way. For this setup, you will actually see quite a lot of spreads. I tend to keep things more in the beginning of my journal. I like to track things over long periods of time, so that's why this video is just a little bit long. So for my title page, I have stuck to using two of my favorite colors, one of which is gray and one of which is this mustardy golden yellow. Quote for the beginning of this year, not really a quote, well it is, it's from the Bible, but I think it's a good reminder for the new year. This last year has been so crazy, and truly I just need to take the time to be still, and for me it is the biblical part of that quote that I love. So next we have my grid spacing sheet. I don't do as many different spacing options as other people I've watched on videos, but I don't actually do as many spreads that call for them, so I really just put a couple on here, just the ones that I use more often. We're going to do my goals page for 2021. Fun fact, when I was writing this, I accidentally wrote 2020 and immediately had a small panic attack because we're not doing that again. You'll see me using this sort of bouncy hand lettering a lot in my spreads. I have only recently gotten to the point where I feel like it looks decent enough to use in my bullet journal, so I've been using it a lot. So next we're doing my bill schedule. I am living on my own for the first time as an adult. I've been doing it for about a year, but I have only recently started to really track my expenses the way I want to. So having this really helps me as far as making sure that my paychecks are not being wasted and when things are due. So next we're doing my monthly budget. I put it right next to my bill schedule so I would not miss it. And this just lays out everything that I'm allowed to spend in a month and on what. In the future, in my monthly layouts, you'll see that I do actually have a habit that I track, which is staying in budget, because it's something that I am really working to improve. The next page I did was actually a debt snowball. It's just something I would like to work on for this year. I need to get serious about getting out of debt. As someone who was in college for a long time, a little bit longer than typical, and someone who is not good at saying no, I have accumulated more debt than I would like to have. So this is just a way for me to be accountable and to keep track of paying debts off. And also, it's just kind of fun to see your progress. That big one at the bottom, if you're wondering, is my student loans. We're not going to talk about it. The next page that I did is a password keeper. I am bad about using similar pieces of passwords, but I make them just slightly different, and then I never know what they are. I thought this would be a good spread. I made it last year as well, and it really helped. And then my lovely kitten Billy decided to hop in to frame. Billy is a tortoiseshell that I rescued from a shelter. She is so sweet. I have another cat as well, but she's much smaller and likes to get in my face as much as possible. My next spread, it's actually a 4-page spread, and that is going to be my future log. I have never made one of these before, but I always want one later in the year when I need to schedule things or see what days I want to take off work, that kind of thing. And I always regret not having one. So I did go ahead and make a nice big one in this bullet journal so that I'll have plenty of room for anything I might need to notate in there. Because it takes so long to make one of these pages, I went ahead and just blew through the next step for you. Next, we're going to be doing Shark Week, which, if you couldn't guess by the title, is a period tracker. right next to that, I'm making my body tracker, which seems a little odd at first glance, but I've been doing Weight Watchers for about 6 months now, and this is just a way for me to see my progress in a year all in one place. For our next spread, we're going to be doing one that I did 2 years ago, but I did not do in my last bullet journal, and I regretted it every single month, which is a yearly mood tracker. So you see the trends over a whole year. I really like to see how things change over time and compare them. So for this year, I went ahead and did a mood tracker that I'm calling my year in color. Some people call it a year in pixels. I went ahead and made a book log. I read a fair bit. I don't read as much as some people, but I really enjoy reading and listening to audiobooks. So I like to keep track of what I'm reading in a year. And on this page, I'm going to notate when I read a book, as well as the rating I would give it and whether it was an audiobook or a print book. And this last page I call my want box. I have a habit of spending money when I don't need to. So for 2021, I really want to break that habit and put things in this box so that I have to think about them before I make a purchase. We'll see if it works. And that is it. That is my entire yearly setup for 2021. I'm so excited for this year. So let's take a quick look back through my pages. I know 2020 has been a very rough year for pretty much everybody, but a lot of internal growth happened this last year, and I really want to continue it into this new year. There's so many parts of me that I like better than I used to. And I think it's because of everything we went through in 2020. It brought me closer to God. It brought me closer to people in my family. It got me new hobbies and new friends. And I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to see what this new year is going to bring in light of what this past year has already brought. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing 2021.